In this world, you better be tough as nails. You better be resilient. You better be strong, not just physically, but psychologically. You got to be tough in this world. And if you're not tough, if you're not strong, and if you're always running your mouth, right? You look around and there's always that one person, that one guy that's doing a lot of yapping and not doing any listening. And you always got to be seen and you always got to be heard. That's a problem. And that shows a big sign of weakness, right? In this world, you have to be strategic. You have to be able to deal with adversities. So if you got bad grades, right? Let's say you're a teenager and you're in high school or elementary school, you better get on your program. You better get on your business. You better stand on your square. If you want to elevate in life, you have to be strong. You have to be resilient. It's like a rhino, right? A rhino has thick skin. You can't be weak. You can't be sensitive or extra sensitive. And yes, men do cry in the dark, right? We cry, but we don't need to do it out there in the open. Take that somewhere behind closed doors. And if you feel emotional, try to hold it in as much as you can, right? Because if you don't, people will eat you up. People will eat you alive. So, especially for my guys, we got to be like warriors. Yes, this is not back in the ancient days, right? Where we didn't have to, or we had to depend on our physical strength. We had to be able to catch something and grab it and hold it, or get a knife and kill it, right? And then cut up the fur and take the organs of the animal and cut it up or whatever and make a fire and whatnot. But no, those aren't, right? We're not in those times anymore, right? Where we have to run and jump on an animal, or we have to make spears, or we have to make bow and arrows and shoot them down and all that stuff, right? Now, we're in the 21st century where the food is already, the animal's already dead, right? So when we go into a grocery store, we see that package of meat, it's already sliced and diced. All it needs to do is, when you buy the meat, you clean it or whatever, and put it in the sink and let the water run past the meat and whatnot, season it, cook it, and next thing you know, your food is ready, right? We live in a different kind of society now where we're not hunters and gatherers. Well, we don't have to work on, technically, we don't really have to work on being fit and try to keep our midsection, right? Especially as guys, to try to keep our midsection as tight as possible. Same thing with women too, right? Because back in the day, we had to hunt for everything. You had to be in shape. You had to be able to run from some of these animals, right? Or run from another tribe. And that's no matter what tribe you're from, right? The Vikings, any African tribes, native tribes, you had to be fit, right? And if you weren't fit, if you weren't in shape, a lot of times you couldn't catch that food. So you got to be tough. You got to be able to deal with adversity. And it's the same thing with the 21st century. The only thing different is we don't do all that. But now you have to be psychologically strong. And it would help to be physically strong, just in case somebody try to test you. You want to be able to hold your own ground, right? Be strong enough. And that is what separates us from the women from the men, right? The women look to us to physically pick something up or physically do something for them. And women are attracted to that, right? On the primal level. But yes, life requires adversity to be able to just get things done. And that's very masculine, right? You set a goal and you hit your target. So in life, you got to be tough. You got to be tough. And you also want to, so you got to be tough like a lion, but you also have to be wise like a fox. And this is why it's very important to me to be physically strong and psychologically strong and spiritually strong so that you can deal with all facets of life, right? Because life isn't just all about physical. It's also about psychologically being strong, spiritually strong, emotionally strong. So this is Mike Chevalier. I'm always keep it simple and precise.